Hey guys, so today in this video, I want to show you a portion of the lead tracking that we are doing for the company. And so in this instance, we need to track the lead. The goal is to start tracking the lead from start to finish, from quote request all the way to quote delivered, to job booked, to job fulfilled, to invoice paid, right? This is just a portion of what that will look like. And this portion is going to be specific to tracking from website lead and getting that contact information to the proper sources. All right, so right here it says in this workflow automatically handles website leads by seamlessly processing form submissions and creating records in the right system based on each potential customer needs. So this workflow, although it might seem simple, saying, oh, all we need to do is take the information from the form and put it in our CRM, like our GoHighLevel, and then put it into HouseCall Pro. But the problem is, and this workflow is going to address it. But the problem is that not everyone that fills out a web form needs to go into HouseCall Pro. Okay, so let's look at the steps that it takes on how we provided the solution without providing more headache. So step one is we're going to capture all the website form submissions. So whenever someone fills out a web form on a website, that's when the workflow is going to spring into action. But as we can see here, there are actually a total of 14 different web forms, okay? And so not every web form that content needs to be transferred over. And also on top of that, we want to track which web form did it come from, so that way we can track the traffic methods or the web forms that are performing better, okay? So that's step number one. We're going to look at the form submission, and that's going to be the trigger. Then it's going to recognize the different type of forms. So the workflow identifies which specific form was submitted across 14 different sources. This is going to include your main website contact forms or any service specific landing pages for like window cleaning, roof washing, pressure washing, any Google Ads landing pages, postcard campaigns, donation and job application forms. So you can see that there's a variety of different forms that it's going to sort through and go on the different paths, okay? And then it's going to route the leads. So the workflow needs to figure out, what do I need to do with this lead contact information? Should it go into HouseCall Pro? Like, should that lead contact go into HouseCall Pro, which is your system for actually like sending out the quotes? It's almost like your field service automation there. But they only need to go into HouseCall Pro if they're requesting a quote or service, right? If they're not requesting a quote or service, then that lead does not need to go into HouseCall Pro. So we need to put something in place to filter that. And then it only needs to be, or does the lead only need to go into the CRM for like general inquiries, job applicants, and stuff like that. So the general CRM here is GoHighLevel. So then it's going to extract the customer information, because sometimes the information comes through kind of wonky. So now we need to manipulate the data a little bit so that we can effectively pass the data onto the proper places. Then it's going to create records in the right places, okay? So if we need to add a new customer to HouseCall Pro, only if they're asking for quoted services. Then we're going to create contacts inside of a high-level CRM for all leads. And then we're going to set up opportunities in sales pipelines with the right status. So if they are coming through for a service quote or a request, then you want it actually to go to the actual pipeline as well. So that way the team can start working on it. And then most importantly, well, not most importantly, but also important, is that we tag everything properly. So we're going to automatically label the leads based off of what form they came into. So for example, this prospect came into the website, but it came in through the roof washing landing page quote request, okay? And so we've got these tags that are matched according to the web form name. Then we're going to tag them with the same tag inside of GoHighLevel in the main CRM. And then we're going to add the same tag also inside of HouseCall Pro. So why this will help the business is because it's going to save time. There's not going to be any more manual data entry from getting an email notification. Like when someone fills out the form, typically you only get an email notification. You still have to double And in this case, this would be triple entry, right? So we've eliminated that. We've also eliminated mistakes to ensure that the customer information matches across all systems. It's going to help speed up the response time because we're instantly able to put these inside of CRMs and like HouseCall Pro and GoHighLevel. We can automatically trigger that follow-up. So that's that lead to speed. Everything is organized. Each lead is properly categorized based on their tags. It'll help boost conversions, so that way it'll help leads that don't slip through the cracks because they're automatically going to be placed into the sales pipeline. And then it keeps your system focused. By only sending quote requests to HouseCall Pro, the field service system stay focused on real service opportunities. It's not going to bog them down with contacts that shouldn't be in there. Without this automation, someone on the team would need to review each lead, decide where it belongs, and then manually enter the information across multiple platforms, which takes time and often leads to missed opportunities and mistakes, okay? So let me really quickly demonstrate how it works. All right, let's see here. So this is the trigger here. We're gonna zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. Then we're going to trigger with a webhook. And so each of these web forms here, we have a webhook in there. And then it's going to, this is the portion here. This is a switch. It's going to route based off of rules. These are all the names of the forms and the pages. And if I zoom out, I don't want to scare you too much when you see this, but if I zoom like that, you can see that there are 14 different paths here to see what has to be done. If we zoom in on one of these paths, let's see if I can get this in the right place. Boop, boop, boop. All right. So after it decides the form is filled out and after it decides it needs to go to this path, this is where we're going to extract the information so that we can properly pass it on. We are then tapping into HouseCall Pro to pass this information on as a new contact inside of HouseCall Pro. Then we are going to create a contact inside of HighLevel, and then we're going to create an opportunity and add them to the proper pipeline. So let me show you really quickly how this works. This is a sample web form, so I'm going to plug in some information here. Why am I not able to type here? Give me just a second here. My keyboard's not working, y'all. Okay. Let's see if it works now. Okay, there we go. So we're going to say Amber website testing, and we're going to go 123 Main Street. And what is this asking for here? Let me move.